What's up, guys? Uh, I've been seeing a lot of content made about passport bros, both for and against, and now they have a ton of detractors. Um, a lot of women, a bunch of guys too, a bunch of simps that's jealous that other guys can travel. I don't know what part of the game that is, like hating on guys that can travel. I mean, get your money up and you can travel as well. I was traveling quite a bit and I was not wealthy um, by any means. But this gets into a lot of the stuff that the women are saying. A lot of these women are just patently contradicting themselves. On one end, they're saying these guys are losers. They can't get women here in the States. They're um, perverts and pedophiles and all sorts of crazy stuff. And then they're also saying the girls over there are third world chicks that are just looking for a green card, that um, these women just want to use these guys. They're going to rob them. They don't have any better choices. So they'll accept these guys and such and so forth. And then but then on the other hand, these women are saying that uh, that these guys um, need to stop talking about being passport bros. Just leave. Don't talk about it. This and that. And you just can't have it both ways, really. It's, if they're undesirable and so forth, why do you care, right? Obviously, you care, or you wouldn't be making so much content putting down these guys about traveling. And they seem to think that the guys are putting out this content to shame the women that they're leaving, the black women most of all, but American women in general. And that's not the case. They're doing it as a beacon to other men saying, hey, you guys can do this too. And as far as them shaming the women, yeah, that's not gonna fly. First, let's be clear. Most of the women shaming the passport bros are fat and ugly, and they're the very women that guys are trying to get away from. Uh, Such as myself, I flew almost 9,000 miles away to the Philippines just to get away from women in Maryland and Baltimore specifically because they're trash. Baltimore women are not attractive, even by national standards. Like when you look at the attractiveness rates of different cities within the United States, Baltimore, mm. Okay. And yeah, I could have chosen another city. Well, I did chose another city. I chose Manila. It's just a city in another country. Whoever said I had to limit myself to the cities within the United States? Okay. A lot of these women are fucking ugly. They're over the hill. They're what in China's called the leftover women. They're over 35. They're single baby mamas. Like they're what we're trying to escape the matrix to get away from, to find greener pastures elsewhere. And it's like the more they use their sign language on these passport bros, the more the more the more evidence the guys have to get away from them. Like you women had your chance. You had your chance with Kevin Samuels. He was trying to save black relationships. Instead, you wanted to mock him and ridicule him because he had grown dad talks with you. So, nope. Once he passed away, then you made fun of him in his death. That was the death knell for a lot of guys maintaining these black relationships. Um, I know Kevin may not have liked it, but the passport bro movement is sort of a reflection of what happened after people like him tried to keep black relationships together. Um, but women weren't going for it. Like, the average guy is not going to become the high value man that all these women want. And it's just not statistically possible that there's going to be enough quote unquote high value men for all these women to have. It's just unrealistic. And Kevin tried to tell them that they need to settle for average men. They didn't want to hear it. Okay, so average men aren't going to marry them. And average men aren't going to sit there and just be single for the rest of their lives unless they want to be MGTOW or whatever, or even go black pill. But the majority of psychologically normal guys are going to choose other options. They're going to choose women of other races, and they're going to choose women in other countries, because they can still choose black women. There's other black women in other countries. So I don't know why black women here think they're the only model on the market. There's more black people in Brazil alone than within the whole United States. Then there's a bunch of black people throughout Latin America and the Caribbean. So, options. Okay. Now, yes, are there some passport pookies out there? Absolutely. And I have another video about that, talking about that as well, because they are a mess. But they are the minority. And on top of that, it's more white passport pookies than black ones. They're the old cringy white men you see in most of these third world countries. And I've seen them in the Philippines and Thailand. They're like 60, 70 years old with 18, 20-year-old girlfriends. That's a topic for another video. But yeah, these women trying to shame passport bros. They're fat, they're ugly, they're single mothers. They're not desirable, because most of the beautiful women here in the US, they have options, so they have no reason to hate on the passport bros. A lot of them are just like, hey, well, good luck, guys. You know? But it's the ones who are less attractive who are making the biggest stink. So that's how I see it. But I'm gonna try to do some more interviews with some women overseas, some Filipinas, because if you've noticed, also in the passport bro space, not only are there a lot of these women trying to shame the passport bros, but there's a lot of foreign women defending them, saying, yeah, we're not stupid. We're not. First of all, most of them don't want green cards. Most of them want to stay in their own country, by and large. My wife herself, like, she's willing to come here, but she wasn't that. She didn't care one way or the other as long as we're together. Like, she didn't really care about coming to the United States. The United States is not the end all be all for foreign women. If anything, Europe is more desirable for a lot of foreign women, and in less economically developed countries. Europe is more desirable than the United States for obvious reasons. Um, but otherwise, they rather stay in their own countries with their families. Okay, so green card thing, whatever. As far as them wanting the guys' money, I thought these guys were undesirable and didn't have money. If they're able to travel, they have some money. So, do women want money? Yeah. Same here in the US. Same like these dumb tricks here talking about you have to make X amount of money for them to submit to you, which means unless you are making a certain amount of money, they just won't be agreeable. Again, they're telling on themselves. Hear them talk long enough, they tell on themselves. So enough with these leftover women here in the US that are going to try to shame passport bros for traveling, which is not a new phenomenon. It's just a phenomenon with a new label, because I was doing it before it had the passport bro label, like 5 years ago. So guys, get your passports if you haven't already. Travel, and not just to the DR. The DR is a popular destination for the passport pookie. I'm going to get on that in the next video. But I'm Just A Contrarian.